everyone. This is Rambling Hour with Lisa. I am live. It is 17 minutes late today. I had started one a few minutes ago, but it was not working properly, and I stopped it, deleted it, and I'm starting again. So let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, and did I say that this is season 5, episode 7? If I didn't, I did now. So, all right, I'm just waiting for some viewers to get on. Tell me if you can hear me and if you can see me and if everything looks all right. I hope everyone's had a good week and that you're ready for a wonderful hour of rambling. Children are just walking by, so don't worry about any noise that you hear in the background. Sorry, that was Aurora was doing something weird. Sorry about my facial expression. I have no idea what she was doing. Anyways, yes, as I said, I hope everyone has had a great week and that you're doing really well. I did a winter display sort of today. Well, actually, this isn't just for today. Hi, this is actually how I set it up for the winter and Christmas decorations. In the living room, dining room, I did a theme of like gray, red, and white. With a touch of green, but mostly it's gray, red, and white. And then in here, I have a bit of the winter things. Back here, these are leaning on a box. It's actually a huge, long box that goes behind the wardrobe here and stuff, and it's got the glass in it for our shower downstairs. So that's on there. And then these paintings, this one is mine, or is mine, and this one is Steve's. And we did those a few years ago, but I wanted to get them into frames. So I finally got those framed to hang up every winter. And then I have some gins back here that are decoration as well. I can show you. They're really cool. So I got these, well, I got this one last year. And I actually don't really drink, and I don't drink gin, but I like the bottle. So, so I wanted the bottle to put lights in, but I still haven't, this one, I still haven't bought, like, nobody's drank the gin, so I haven't put lights in it yet. So this year, they had, like, another one, and, of course, you know, impulse buy. I bought this one and this purple one back here. And when I was at the till and they have, you know, gold flakes in them. So they actually are like a snow globe. And then when I was at the till, the lady said something about the lights. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I want them for, to put lights in. And she said, no, on the bottom, there's already a light. So you can put it on like that, or you can have it on, sorry, blinking, or you can have it just solid. Let me see if this works better for one moment. If I shut this off, if you can see it better. Yeah, so I don't know if I'd blink it like that, but yeah, so I was really excited that they actually have lights already on the bottom of them. So the other thing you might notice is I just shut off my circle light, whatever it's called, for when I do these lives to put more light on my face. And it was still pretty bright in here. That's because there is like the pot lights, like the circle lights that are facing down underneath this, like it's like a balcony for like the upstairs. And then underneath, I'm underneath it right now, and so there's lights facing down on me, which makes me very, very happy. Also, Melody wrote that, so when Mom and Melody were here in 2017 to 2018, so Melody came over in 2017, just around Christmas time, and one of my best memories about that is I was waiting, it was very close to Christmas, but I wanted to wait until she was here so she could help me decorate my house, because her and I have decorated together and spent so many Christmases together, and it just, yeah, so I remember waiting for her to get here so we could decorate together. That made me happy. But it was the same year that me and Steve were painting, and we took Mama and Melody to painting classes with us, and we did some different things. So Melody just said that these are the ones that we worked on when they were here that December. So that is really, really cool memories. So that was, yeah, December 2017, tells you how old these are. And Melody's right, because I always sign and date my pictures, and mine says it was December 11th, 2017 that I painted that. So yeah, good memories. And and there's this guy from Costco that I'm sure that you were probably able to get in Canada. We got the moose the year that we moved my stuff here in the shipping container. We got him from Canada, so he literally is a Canadian moose. That was in 2015, but we bought this one the year after, so 2016 I got him from the Costco here, and I haven't got another one since. I would get them every year probably, but I love them. So yeah, and then I don't know what else to tell you guys about the display, but anyways, like I said, I didn't just set this up for today. This is how I have it for this winter. And yeah, I hope you guys are good and that you guys have had a good week. And let's see, where did we start this week? Was it Owen's birthday this past week? Was that what I said last weekend? Has it only been a week since Owen's birthday dinner? I think so. Did I talk? Hang on, let me think. I'm pretty sure it was Owen's birthday dinner on Monday that we did, and I did, like, he only asked for tacos for his birthday dinner. We let them choose what they want for their, you know, their meal. He said tacos, but I went like totally Mexican, so I made enchiladas, fajitas, empanadas. No, I didn't make empanadas. I was going to, but I didn't have time. So enchiladas, fajitas, quesadillas, and then tacos, like soft and hard, and Mexican rice. So, and then refried beans, so you could have burritos. And like I made the stuff for fajitas, and you can make it yourself. But for everything that I made for all of us, I made Steve a separate one. So when I made the chicken with the onion in it, I mean chicken, like the cooked chicken and onion and peppers for the fajitas. For Steve's, I only used chicken and onion. So he had no peppers because he's allergic to bell peppers. And when I made the enchiladas, I made like a casserole dish for him, a small one, but it didn't have any peppers or any spicy meat in it or anything. So that was really good, except that we ate like Mexican food for three or 4 days in a row. No, well, 3 days, because it wouldn't be good after the last day. But it was really yummy, but it was high on the carbs and not so good on the tummy. It cleaned us out. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But yeah, trying to, starting tomorrow, I'm going to go back to eating, like I've cooked some chicken breast and stuff tonight. So starting to get back onto eating healthier in the morning. So yes, but it was a good week. And besides that, I took down, I still haven't made pumpkin pies. And I think I kind of messed up on the adoption thing, because in the UK, you can't adopt adults, and I need to talk to a immigration solicitor, and well, we have to talk to a family services solicitor, like a lawyer, to do the adoption. But I guess because where the kids are from another country, we have to talk to immigration as well, because Home Office has to approve it as well. So I'm going to try and get the adoption form in with family services before her birthday. And I'm hoping that if the application is in before Allison turns 18, then everything will be fine. But of course, I left it right before Christmas. She turns 18 January 13th, and now we got to find places that are open. And then with COVID and everything, if things are slower. But I'm hoping that if the application is in before the person turns 18, then it'll be all right. In Canada, you can adopt an adult, but here you can't. So it's really frustrating that way. The other thing is, so as far, yeah, so I'll just leave it at that. So I left a message for our immigration solicitor that we used in the past, but he's since retired. So I had a message that would I like them to forward my number on to a new immigration solicitor, and I said yes, but I'm waiting to hear back from somebody about that. Our kitchen, so on Monday we got the design back from the Hodens, is a company that we're going with for our kitchen, and they sent the design back to us in an email, and we looked at it and decided on what, if anything, needed to be corrected or whatever this week. Sorry. Okay, I hope you guys can hear me. I was just saying that we had the plans for our kitchen back from Hodens on Monday, and then on Thursday, it took us that long for me and Steve oh, maybe it was Friday even, that I finally sent in the sketches, the things that we wanted different and everything. And I sent them on Friday, and I got a message for that saying that the lady who designed our kitchen and who we're working with is out of the office till Tuesday, but they'll forward it on to her. So I will wait till hear back on Tuesday about that, and then we'll just have to make some final decisions on it, and then it'll get ordered. But as Mom pointed out last week, all of that will be in the new year anyways, because we'll need the electricians to put in the sockets and stuff like that before the kitchen actually gets installed. Although we can order the kitchen and pay for the kitchen, and then they can make the cabinets and everything in the meantime while we're waiting. So that is exciting, even just picturing it in my mind, like how the kitchen's going to be in the new year. So I've decorated quite simply this year for Christmas. I've put all the bins back up in the loft of all the Christmas decorations that I'm not using, and things are just kind of a simple Christmas. How most, I mean not most people, some people might decorate like this anyways, just with a few things here and there, but I haven't really decorated in the kitchen either. I did a tablecloth, a couple things, like 2 or 3 things in the room, and that's basically it for the kitchen, because I just don't want to do a bunch of decorations and have to take them down right away for the new year for everything to happen. And if the electricians get a chance between now and the new year, even just a day to work on things or whatever, then they might still come and do some work here. So I just want to keep it clean and organized in case anything does come in. And I think, so I can't remember if this happened. I think this just happened this week, so I don't think I told you guys about this, but Fred, our joiner, that does the woodwork and everything, he came one of the days, actually maybe it was last weekend, maybe I did tell you guys this. Anyways, one of the days he came in, he put in a loft hatch, a new loft hatch that, I think I did explain this, didn't I? Allison has a little tiny bedroom, the smallest room in the house, and on the landing upstairs, it's like the balcony area, there's this tiny little room, and that when you open the door, I use it for, there's like a shelf in there for linen closet that I put in there, but that's where you go, I have a ladder in there to go up into the loft. But basically it's a waste of a cupboard. So what we're going to do is, over on the landing, Fred put in a new hatch to go in. So when you open the hatch, it's the one where you bring the ladder down. It's attached to the hatch door. And then this room, this little room, we're going to block off that door and then open it into Allison's room. And it'll be like a little walk-in closet for that room, for her, as it's her room right now. It used to be Owen's. But yeah, so that happened in the last week, but I think that might have happened last Saturday. So this Saturday, like yesterday, Fred was at Steve's work building a doorway to hit into his office, because you go upstairs and then it's like open into the his and Chris's office. Chris is his stepdad. They have the business together. Anyways, it's just you go up the stairs and it's got that half wall and it's just open. And a breeze was coming through the front. Every time somebody would come in the front door, the breeze would go up the stairs and make their feet cold. So he built it in this way where there's going to be a door, and yeah. Anyway, so he was working on that yesterday. So I think Fred will be here next weekend doing work here. So the same thing, depending on where he's doing work and what room he's working in or what he's doing. I don't want the rooms to be crowded with decorations and everything, so I'm just excited for any of the home renovations to be done. I haven't done my workout yet today. I was like, it's just been a busy household in the last little bit, and I kind of just want to be alone in the living room to do my workout, so I was waiting for all the kids to be gone to bed, so I'm going to do my workout after my live is done. So I don't know how many of the people watching this know about the game Fortnite. It's a video game that you play on an Xbox, and they just had a new update, and so the kids and Steve, they had to be on at 9 o'clock yesterday. I think it was yesterday, or was it Friday? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. Anyways, they had to be at 9 o'clock p.m. They had to be all on the Xbox at the same time if they wanted to see this thing, and it was really cool where they did this little, I don't know, little adventure thing, and then it like exploded and changed and everything, and then they had to wait a day until 3 p.m. today when so everybody around the world had to wait until the same time. It was 3 p.m. for us, and the new I don't know, they call it like World 3, so it's they were playing the second update, now this is the third update, and so it was really cool that they did that as a family, playing together. So Steve, Tom, Aurora, and Erica. Me and Allison aren't really bothered. That was just Allison dropping everything out of her pockets. me and Allison weren't really bothered about playing Fortnite, but it was really cool to watch them have this adventure together and then start again today. But I guess there was like so many people trying to get on at the same time when it started today that it was like quite overwhelming. So, yes, how are you guys? I saw that Meg just started watching, so hello Meg and everybody else who's watching, whether you're watching live now or you're watching at a later time. Again, hope you've had a good week and that you will have a good week this week. And I am so sorry that I've been late. I didn't say it on this one, I don't think, but I said it on the one that I started and then deleted, but it was just that I thought that doing it in the entranceway here would be a good place to do it because everybody would be in their rooms on their Xboxes and doing their own thing. But everybody was in the kitchen eating a late dinner and it was just noisy and everything else, and Steve just left. So that was part of the reason I was late, but also because I was making the dinner for everyone, and I thought, you think you have enough time, but you don't, and then it just, yeah. So sorry that I'm late, but I just choked on saliva. Give me 1 second. Check outside. Allison's just asking where the dog is. She's taking the dog for a walk, but I think she might be outside. So Meg says, hey Lisa, I am about to leave for work. Just want to say hello, miss you, and sending lots of love. Thank you, Meg, to you and the family as well. Love you. Have fun at work. Thanks for tuning in. So something else that happened this week is that I finished an old journal that I was working in. Like how you guys know that I'm trying these different, not necessarily, I don't know if they're self-help journals, but they're different like happiness journals and different types of journals. And I'm just using them as a manual and and then writing in like a scribbler, like in a notebook, instead of writing in these journals. So I'm keeping it in the same notebook, but I started a new one. And I've done it for about 3 or 4 days, and this is it. I can't remember if I showed you this one already. So it says Mindful Journaling, Rewrite the Script of Your Life by Tara Ward. And let's see what it says on the synopsis on the back. A full and contented life is one experienced moment by moment. Mindfulness, being in the moment, is a great way to discover who you really are, and there's no better way of finding this out than by keeping a mindful journal. You can learn to be mindful in countless ways, and it doesn't have to be hard work. That's why this journal is full of short, simple suggestions. Many take less than 2 minutes, so you can experience mindfulness quickly. Journaling your own experiences as you explore mindfulness helps you to deepen your understanding of what it feels like and allows you to discover firsthand its extraordinary benefits. There's one last vital element: fun. The more you enjoy this mindful journal, the more you will enrich your life. And I like on the back too the like wavy things. But hello Samantha. So I've done I think 4 days, and it's really cool because the shopping day worked out the day I was going shopping. But the first one was what can you hear? Oh no, the first one, when you wake up in the morning, lie still for a moment before you open your eyes. So then it was what could you hear and everything else. And then the second one was about shopping. The next time you go food shopping, stand in front of the fruit vegetable section and look closely at what is on offer. And then it tells you a little bit more like to, when you pick things up, the fruit and everything, what colors stand out to you, what does it feel like, why, do you want to buy it or do you want to put it back? And then it's about being in the moment. The third day, stand with your weight distributed evenly on both feet. So you just did this rocking back and forth on your feet and feeling each movement. And then actually I think I did 5 days. So explore where your thoughts take you when you don't try to control them. So that was just like a mindful meditation for a few minutes. And it was like most of the time when I do meditations, it's guided meditations, but this is a kind where you just focus on your breathing. And if a thought comes in, you let it come in. And then you let it go away like it's floating away on a cloud. And then if another thought comes in, you say hello to your thought and acknowledge it and then let it float away on a cloud. And then you just write about it. And that was only like a 5-minute thing. Close your eyes and explore your face with your fingertips. I did that one, so I guess maybe I've done 6. And then make yourself a drink. That was today's, and I haven't finished it. And it has to do with when then you taste it. It's about. So I love that these are little activities that every day you're doing something where you're in the moment. So like, where's my drink? So, how does the container that you have your drink in feel? Why did you choose this container? And then why did you choose the drink? How does it look? How does it taste? How does it make you feel? Yeah, it's yummy. Makes me feel good. It's cold and delicious. So it's about living in the moment, and I'm really enjoying this journal, and I like that each little paragraph and stuff, I can write it in my notebook, and I don't need to write in this journal to wreck it, I guess, basically. Yeah, so that is something else that's new, but I have these other ones that I'm starting in January, but I will still continue on this one as well. But one of the ones I have that's from the TV personality Fern Cotton, who I've told you about her books before. Happy, Calm, and is the other one Quiet, Melody? Anyways, Fern Cotton, I love Fern Cotton. I have her podcast. Well, I have she does have a podcast, but I also have her books on Audible, so I can listen to her, read her books, and then I have her books, and I have a journal, and her journal, it starts January 1st type thing, so I'm going to start that one on January 1st with continuing this as well. So yes, hello everyone, and I see the hellos in the comments, and hello to people who are watching this at a later time as well. I've been having some crazy dreams lately, but nobody likes to hear about other people's dreams really, especially when they're weird and crazy, so I don't need to explain those to you. But yes, mine has very much been going through. So that little meditation thing that I told you about that I did a couple days ago, when that was my journal thing, I know that I feel like so I listen to podcasts that have to do with, well, I'm listening to lots of different ones, but like right now I'm listening to one about science, so it's completely opposite of the spiritual stuff. But as you know, I'm very spiritual as well, so I listen to a lot of spiritual stuff, and ones that talk about, being in connection with your ancestors and your guides, your spirit guides and stuff like that. And obviously when I have headphones on all the time and I'm listening to things and doing things, I'm really not in connection with myself and with my spirit guides. So when oh my gosh. So Melody says, I like hearing about dreams, and Samantha says, I want to hear about your dreams. Okay, let me finish this thought and I'll see what I'll talk about with my dreams. And like I said before, a lot of times when I've done meditations, it's been guided meditations where someone's guiding you, like, you're on a beach, and they might give you time, like, to sit there and see what happens and everything else. But I've never been one to just, clear my mind and just let the thoughts go by in the clouds and see what comes in. So it was interesting doing that, but I also feel like my spirit guides have been wanting me to do more meditation and to be more connected to the spirit world and stuff like that. So if you know what mediums are when they speak to the dead and that kind of thing, you need to open yourself up and be, present and open and that. And so it's the same thing with listening to your loved ones who've passed, or with your spirit guides, and they're trying to give you little nudges and hints about, what steps to take in your life. They can't tell you what to do. I mean, they can tell you what to do. You don't have to do it because you have free will. But it's good to be in contact with them. Your gut feeling, your nudges, when things are like, oh, something just told me to stop, and I stopped my car, and if I hadn't stopped, I would have got hit by another car that was going. So things like that. So I was pretty sure that my spirit guides wanted me to be in touch with them more. And when I did this 5 minutes, it wasn't even, I put on not a stopwatch. I didn't put on a timer because I didn't want after 5 minutes it to be like meh, 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 in case I was in my meditative state longer and wanted to stay there. But I put on a stopwatch so I could see how long I actually let my mind be quiet for. And it was 4 minutes and 40 some seconds. I almost made 5 minutes. But in there, as I was letting the visions, because I'm a visual person, the visions of these things come and then go off on a cloud, then I just heard the word. And so a lot of times if you hear your guides and stuff, it might even sound like your own voice in your head. But one thing I've heard is that if you ask a question and they answer, and the voice in your head answers you quicker than you ask the question, then you know that that's your guides, because they know what you're going to say, because you've already subconsciously thought about it before you've consciously thought about it and said it out loud or in your mind. But I just heard finally in my head, and I was like, oh. So yeah, I think they've been wanting to get in contact with me, and I think it's an important thing to start letting my brain shut off sometimes and not have headphones on all the time and go and just get back into a bit of that mindfulness. So speaking of which, I have only done it twice instead of 5 times, but I've started doing my yoga again, which my body really appreciates. So it's been, I've done 2 days. I've done standing poses and twists. And the thing is, that everybody gets achy, and like when I said, I wrote this on a post that I said that I started yoga again, but I said that my muscles are tight, and I didn't mean tight in a good way, like, you know, like firm. I meant tight as in everything just, you know, you need a good stretch and everything. So a lot of us will get those aches and pains and just like, oh, you know, you pull your back a little bit and you just feel like you're getting old. I cannot express to people how important stretching is. So whether you do a yoga practice or you just do stretches in the morning, so stretch your arms but hold it for a few minutes. You know, try and touch your toes, and even if you can only go to like there, then that's fine. Every day you're going to get a little bit more, but it's so important to stretch our muscles and or do a beginner's yoga practice. And I mean, besides all the spiritual stuff and things that you can do it with yoga, I'm talking about just stretching the body. And if you do this regularly, you will be so surprised how many of those aches and pains that you think are age related will go away, because you strengthen your muscles by holding them in static stretch. So you strengthen your muscles and you stretch your muscles, and they won't ache as much. Honestly, I cannot express to you guys, if you have never tried yoga, how important it would be to try yoga, or at least do some types of stretches when you wake up or before you go to bed, or both. So try that and let me know what you think. And today Anne says yes, stretching before and after. Oh, definitely, even if you're doing like some type of workout like cardio or intense, what is it called that I do, like circuit training, intense, let me see what it's called, high intensity interval training. If you do stuff like that, you want to stretch before or after your workouts as well, because you want to warm up your muscles and you want them to be stretchy for your workout. Otherwise, it's very, very likely that you could pull something easier. And like I said, I hate how long it takes for things to go back to normal, because before it was my hamstrings, which was the first time in my life I had ever hurt my hamstrings. And now it's still this, and even doing push-ups and stuff, or holding my weights, there's even some things I have to do with this, I can feel it pulling here. So it's not as bad as it was before, but it's still not 100%. And I hate how long it takes for a muscle to repair itself and to get back to normal. Workout or yoga, yes. Well, it depends on your yoga routine. You don't necessarily need to stretch before you do yoga, depending on what level you are in your yoga, because if it's a good teacher or a good routine, they will start with some basic, you know, like the one where you touch your toes, which is just forward bend, or like mountain pose where you just stretch like really tall, you know. So if it's a good routine, it'll start you with some of the simple stretches before you get into the more difficult poses. And like I said, beginner's yoga thing isn't anything crazy. And even the twists that I do, where, you know, you bring your knee up and then your elbow over here and you twist like this, like for me, if like Steve has a broken back and a broken neck and a bad back, so he might not be able to do something like this. But even if he just puts his hand on his knee like this and turns to here, just to, you know, not hurt himself, but just to stretch muscles in his back that he wouldn't stretch on a normal day, and then the next day he's doing something else. There's lots of things that you can do even with injuries, but I'm not a medical person, so I'm not going to tell you which ones to do. I'm just going to tell you to look for routines on YouTube or wherever, and I don't think that there'd be a person out there who would regret doing yoga as long as you don't push it. Like I said, if you're trying to bend forward to touch your toes and you can only go to here, don't push it just so you feel a little bit of a stretch, but don't try and force yourself to do it. Every day you'll get a little bit stretchier, but it's not about can you touch your toes. It's about just having a bit of a stretch. And that's what it's about. Starting again, I've been working out every day. I haven't missed a day of working out, but I haven't done yoga in weeks. And I'm telling you that I am not as flexible as I was before, and it's so disappointing, but it's my own fault for stopping my routine. However, so some of the stuff, like even, I don't know if I can do it here. I'm putting my feet up on these tables here. So reaching to touch my toes, if like right now my back is sore, so I can only go there, whereas I might have been able to fold all the way down before, but I'm only going to go to there where I can feel it, and then I'm going to hold it there. You can use straps and stuff. If you can't touch your feet, you put the strap around your feet and then pull the strap and hold the pose. So yeah, don't think that you can't do it because you're at different levels of fitness. Everybody can do it, and stretching is good. But my biggest thing is, like I said, so many of those aches and pains that we think are age related are really the fact that we're out of shape. So I'm not telling you to go run a marathon or even do the workouts that I do every day, but basic stretching every day can change those aches and pains so much in your body. So I'll stop ranting about this, but I really really endorse it. So my dreams, I don't know, they're just like bizarre. So yes, I don't know if you guys want to hear about my dreams. Sometimes they're just like, it doesn't even make sense. So yesterday we were at one of Steve's friend's house. So this, I don't know this person. I don't even think this person exists in real life. It was just a man who was about Steve's age. He was thinner, and I don't know if he drank a lot or if he had, but he lived alone. He had no kids, and anyways, he passed away, and he was in his bed, still passed away, like the body was still there. And we went to the house, and he had this really cool, like, it was like a stereo and TV and everything, but it was like flat with the wall, and you press these buttons to do things, and it was like really super like futuristic, but really cool as well. And I remember I was just watching TV on there, or there was this video with memories on it, and then and Steve was just getting some things ready before we called the this is something you might not know, but I know this from reading all my books about death, is that if somebody, if you have somebody who's at home and they die, you don't have to call the coroner right away. So if, say you have a elderly parent who you know will be passing away soon, but you don't know when, and they pass away, you don't have to call the coroner right away and call the police right away, because if there's a death at home, there has to be an inquiry into it. It's just the way that it happens. But you don't have to do all those things right away. You can take a moment and hold your mom's hand and just sit with her and just, you know, give it some time. Just let, you know, the death, you know, just have that moment. So you're allowed to do that. You don't have to. So anyways, that's what was happening in my dream. Steve was just sorting some things out before he called the coroner and just kind of giving it some time. There was another friend there too of theirs, which again, I don't think he exists in real life as far as I know. And they were just dealing with some things, and me and maybe the kids, I don't know, we were just sitting there watching this really cool TV and the stereo and everything. And then there was like some video with memories, and it was really weird because on the memories, it was somebody that I knew from like since I was 6 years old, and him and his kids and his dad, who I also know, his parents. And I was just thinking, oh, I miss them. I haven't seen them in so long. And him and his kids and everything else, and but then after I woke up, I thought, what? That's so weird. Why would the part of the memory thing in this guy's house be of people that I knew back in Canada, and it was on this memory loop? Anyways, so yeah, that's how dreams are weird and everything. So if you guys wanted to know what my dream was about, that's what it was about. So, I mean, I remember my dreams more when I first wake up, but if they're relevant, I might write them down, or if I feel like they're relevant. But some of them I'm just like, all right, whatever that was, I accept that. Actually, you're supposed to write down your dreams every day, because even the ones that are minor or don't seem relevant, after you're writing them down every day, you can see themes and things that you might need to connect. But I do so much already that I don't know about writing down my dreams. Plus, the thing is that they say to like write it down as soon as you wake up. And what I would do ideally is like have my phone beside the bed, which I do anyways. And I have the memo app, like, you know, the memo, like for doing voice memos, voice recordings. I have it right on my front screen. So ideally, I would press that and then record myself saying, with my eyes still closed, saying, oh, okay, so I jumped about this and But the thing is that I wake up before Steve, and he doesn't sleep well anyways. So me grabbing my phone and making noise and then trying to like press record and then telling it my dreams is probably not going to work out really well if you share a room with a partner that wakes up later than you. So, and then getting up and writing in my journals. I get up and start making breakfast and everything else, so I'm not going to have time to sit down and write in my journals really. But actually, now that I say that, maybe I could just take my phone downstairs, which I do again, and press record on the voice recording, and as I'm making food, just quickly, you know, say what my dreams were on the voice recording. So I guess there is no excuse. You can fit anything into your schedule if it means enough, or you feel like it's important enough. Hence why I've been working out for like 470 some days or whatever now, because it's funny how you can make an excuse all the time, and trust me, like, it's already 8:52 here, and I don't feel like doing my workout, but I am going to do it because I'm not going to miss a day, and I'm not going to let anything stop me. So even on days when I don't feel as well, I might not get the best workout in, but I'm still going to do the best that I can. So I'm still going to get there, and maybe I can pump myself up and try and get myself excited and then get an even better workout. So we'll see. Now it's, yeah, I just lost my brain. Talk about like having a blank mind and letting your thoughts go. I didn't even try and choose it that time, it just went. Let me have a drink and then see. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? I can't remember any of my other dreams at the moment, so, but I'll know that for next time that you guys want to hear about my crazy dreams. So Samantha's little daughter, Mouse, that's her nickname, Danielle, she started ballet, and she's really, really cute in her pictures that she started ballet yesterday with her cousin. Oh, Steve's uncle passed away. I think that was this week. I don't think I told you guys about that. So Steve's dad, Pierce, Pierce lost his cousin, and a few days before that, he lost his, so Pierce's sister is June, Auntie June, and Auntie June's husband, Uncle Raymond, passed away. So that is sad. I've met him a few times, and Auntie June was at our wedding, but I can't remember if Uncle Raymond came to our wedding or not, because he might not have been healthy enough to even travel at that time. Was Auntie June at our wedding? I think she was. I remember Auntie Helen, that's a sister of, Pierce. There's 4 of them in that family. So Steve's dad is Pierce. There's Helen, June, and they have a brother, David, who's the oldest. So, anyways, we have met Uncle Raymond when we've gone to the farm as well. That's the one in Anglesey. So that's just you go through Wales, but it's actually on an island called Anglesey, just off the coast of Wales. So, yes, Uncle Raymond passed away. He has been ill for a while, but he ended up getting COVID from his grandchildren, which is really sad because I would hate for his grandchildren to feel like they killed their grandpa, but it's not like that. I mean, he wasn't well anyways, besides, sorry, I'm petting the dog if it looks like I'm being, like, moving weird. Yeah, he wasn't well anyway, so it isn't surprising that COVID would take him, because anything really, like pneumonia or anything, could have taken him. So, but that's unfortunate for Pierce and for that family that there's 2 losses in a very short time, and is another one for the COVID list of somebody that I know personally who has passed away from COVID. So, Steve got his jab. He got his booster shot for his COVID vaccinations. He had that on Thursday and has felt like crap for a few days. He's starting to feel better now. So that's something else that happened. I swear this is like my journal, just updating you guys, even though I have all this written down in my journal anyways. But Christmas time. I don't send Christmas cards out because Steve knows too many people. He thinks it's a waste of paper and not good for the environment. So I don't. And the thing is, in the past when Christmas cards were big, it was because you were updating people on your life and sending family photos and, giving them greetings and everything else. And that's great. And everybody, I mean, we love receiving post mail and stuff like that. Like, it makes us feel good. But now with the social interaction like this, I tell you guys every week what's going on, and I post pictures all the time, and so you guys see, and I love, and this might be creepy, it might not be, but I love when people put up their family pictures. And especially in Canada, we are like big into the photography and the family photos and everything else. So when people put their pictures up, like the family photos, a lot of times I'll steal them and save them to my phone. And then when I go to Tesco, which is a grocery store here, it has one of those kiosk things where you can print the photos. So I'll just print a 6x4, 4x6, depending where you live. I know everything's backwards. In Canada, we call it 4x6. Here, they call it a 6x4. I don't know why some of these things can't just be the same. Anyways, I print off a normal sized photo, and then I put it in this thing in the living room that I have with people's family photos. So when I was saying about the Christmas cards, and I'm just going to, yeah, and that is, okay, hang on. Let me read what Auntie Diane's saying, because I was going to mention something about, sorry. Samantha says we need to meet beforehand. What were we talking about? Before what? Of art. See, I don't remember what we were talking about. So, Auntie Diane says, do you know what would be a fun idea if you did a live cooking show and cook one of your favorite recipes for us? You guys actually want to see that? I've seen some of your recipes look delicious. Christmas treats. Oh, I could do that. Yes, Samantha, we can see each other before Christmas. Actually, Samantha, even we could do that one day as well. Maybe if you were here, we could do a live where we're cooking. I could even make Grandma's famous chocolates. My grandma died when I was 13, so she died in 1992. And she used to make these homemade chocolates, and they were so good. So for Christmas, she would make a big bucket of cookies and like baking treats and everything, and she'd have chocolates in there as well, homemade chocolates. And that would be everybody's Christmas gift. Like each family would get a bucket of yummies. And this isn't what I was going to say about Auntie Diane before, but this is, I'll tell this one first. So one year, I've told you guys about the New Year's parties at Auntie Diane's, and everyone's invited this year. No, I'm just kidding. So Auntie Diane and Uncle Arthur have New Year's parties at their place. And we all, the McDermott family is very close like that, where we try to get to, if we know that somebody's going to be in town, we all try to get together. Anyways, this one Christmas, we were doing the Christmas up in Grand Prairie, and almost everybody was there, if not everybody. And I made so many homemade chocolates and with Grandma's recipe, and I brought them up there, and I shared, and it was so cool because they tasted the same as when Grandma made them. So for all these people, of my cousins and aunties and uncles and everything, they hadn't had those chocolates since my grandma was still alive. So 1992, because she died February 1992, so it would have been December 1991 would have been the last Christmas. And it was such a really cool experience to be with so many of the McDermotts and to taste these chocolates and for them to taste exactly like the ones that Grandma used to make. So and that was at Auntie Diane's house too, so I remember that. So that's something that I could do. Anybody else watching, would you guys be interested in watching me make something like that in the kitchen? I absolutely, I don't know if I would in this lifetime now because I am getting older, and I know I'm not old, but absolutely, if I could have the style of restaurant that I had in Saskatchewan, the homemade cooking and about the size that I had in Saskatchewan too. I don't want a huge big restaurant, but I don't want a little tiny trolley. But I would have loved to do to keep having the restaurant. Like, I'm really good in the kitchen. I know that I'm really good at that kind of stuff. And even the serving and the running of the place, I know I was good at it. And I worked my butt off at that place, and I loved it. So if my place in life is to have a restaurant in the future again, it's something that I absolutely would do. But yeah, and I remember my very first live that I did, I was in the kitchen making like, I think it was like tuna pasta bake, but it wasn't really baked. It was just like cooked pasta, tuna, and was it cheese? And you just mix it up. Oh, and a bit of milk, like cheese sauce, and tuna. Anyways, I think I was making that on my first live, so I remember that. But yeah, I mean, if that's what you guys want to do, I could do that. And rum balls. I love making rum balls at Christmas. So, Samantha says yes to the food show. Auntie Diane says thumbs up. And that was so awesome. I remember that chocolates are great. And Melody says sure. And I'm assuming she's saying sure to watching me cook. All right, well, I mean, I can do that next Sunday, really. Is it the 5th today? I don't know how to... Yeah, it's the 5th. So what's 7 plus 5 is 12. So December 12th. I don't think there's anything important that day, so I don't see why I couldn't do that next week. Gives me something to the theme. I mean, I still have the pumpkins. I don't know if I'm going to make the pumpkin pie. I'd rather do something a little more like the chocolates or the rum balls or even both. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, and I'll do it just like a cooking show, like where I can't wait for our kitchen to be done. But I can still, I'll set up the kitchen in a way that it looks nice enough to do our thing. And like on cooking shows where they already have everything measured and then they tell you how much it is. Oh, and I'll make like little cards because I can't really like put it up. I don't edit these later where I can put the recipe up on the thing, but I can put the recipe in the comments, and I'll have little cards so that it tells you the amount that I'm using. So as I'm putting in you know, a cup of sugar, I'll put up a little sign that says 1 cup sugar so that you guys can be writing down the recipe if you want, or like I said, I can put it in the comments after so you guys can get the recipe that way, or send it to you in a message or whatever. So I guess my plans for next Sunday will be the cooking show, Grandma's old-fashioned cooking, and we'll make rum balls and homemade chocolates, Grandma style. Oh, I'm so excited because then I get to eat them as well, which so much for the healthy eating. But Samantha says I work in grams. All right, I know, and then there's milliliters and everything else. I'll do the conversions. It'll all be on the papers. I'll make sure it's for everybody, that they understand the amounts. Yes, put the recipes in the comments. That way we can screenshot it. Samantha, what's a cup? You're funny. So, yeah, I know that I can actually, I think I can even comment on here. But what I might do, oh, I don't know. What I might do is actually give the recipes to, well, I can do it after anyways too. I could just say, like, if I gave them to Samantha or Melody or somebody, they could put it in the comment while I'm doing the live. But whatever, we'll figure it out. But yeah, no, I'm excited about that. And like I said now, oh, I forgot to tell you guys. So I remember I said that I started my live and then it messed up. And so, and then my mom said that she couldn't hear me. So I just like stopped it and I deleted it and I started again. Hence why I was even more late than late when I started that one. When I first signed on to that live, it said that I can add up to 3 people as guests on my live. So when we do the slumber party one with my friend Jess, that'll be awesome that I can even add a few more people and we can all be in our pajamas. But I know that it's, well, the thing is, where in Canada you might still be in your pajamas because it's like earlier in the day, and here we might be in our pajamas because it's later in the day. But like, I want you guys to like send me a photo of you in your pajamas watching my live. And well, you don't have to show that you're watching my live in it, but to show you that you're in your pajamas, and I'll make like this collage of all of us in our pajamas for the slumber party one. Yes, I could send the recipe during the week. And wait, so Samantha, you're going to bake the, oh, I see what you mean. So I'll send you the recipe and you can have everything ready. And then I can have you as my guest while I'm making them and you're making them at the same time. That could work too. So, yes, I have everything to make the chocolates and I have everything to make the rum balls. However, with the rum balls, you use ground almonds. And I don't know if my almonds will still be good because they might be a bit stale. Because I've had them for a couple of years because I planned on making these things, but I haven't. So, and Auntie Diane says, great idea. Yeah, because I already know how to make them because I made them before. And then we can watch Samantha struggle through new recipes. That will be very entertaining. No, actually, Samantha and her girls, well, I mean, Danielle's only 3, but I know Tyla has done some of her. Actually, Tyla would be a good one too, as inspiration, because she's had her own. Samantha, what was her little cooking show called that she did on YouTube? And she would do videos of her cooking. Like I said, Samantha's daughter Danielle, her nickname is Mouse, and Tyla, her oldest, her nickname is Tig. So I think it was called Cooking with Tig or something. Let's see. Samantha says, I wouldn't have me as your guest, LOL, as my baking won't be great. We shall see. Oh, Samantha, I'm sure it would. And Auntie Diane said, did you know you can freeze your almonds till you're ready to use them? They'll last longer. Yeah, and you're supposed to actually freeze the flour too. I didn't know that. If you're not using your flour within a month, you should freeze your flour. Because, and the people think that the bugs, that their flour gets bugs in it, but it's actually the eggs for the bugs that your flour gets are already in, like the shafts of wheat and everything when they're processing it. And so once your flour has stayed at room temperature for so long, they hatch. So even if you have it in a sealed container, they could still hatch and you can still get bugs in your flour. So if you're not using your flour within a month, you should freeze it. But if you're going to use your flour, don't take it out of the freezer and just dump it into your bowl because it'll have ice crystals in it and it doesn't work as well. So you have to bring it back to room temperature to use. But yes, I should have done that with my almonds, but I didn't. So Samantha says cheers, and TikToks is what Tyla's cooking show was called, TikToks. Samantha, if you want to put a link to it in the comments, you can do that and people can watch Tyla on her little cooking show, and I might watch it as well so I can get some tips from some of these experts on how to do the cooking show before next Sunday. The thing I was going to say about Auntie Diane before and Christmas cards is that I did send out a Christmas card, I think it was last year, to Auntie Diane because she had asked for Christmas cards, but not just Christmas cards, but to put in your favorite recipe in the Christmas card when you sent it. So I did that, and that was the only Christmas card I sent. And then this year there's 2 people who posted that on Facebook, and I saved their addresses and their information, but I can't remember who they are, so I have to look back in my photos on my phone, on my computer, of like screenshots to find who those 2 people were, and I was going to send them Christmas cards with favorite recipe. And Samantha said if I can find it, and yes, and Melody said Samantha doesn't necessarily need to be my guest, but she can, oh, I did that again, sorry, those are, yeah, but she can still cook it alongside while I'm doing this, and then she can put pictures of the final result in the comments or whatever. So yeah, I'm excited now. I like when I actually have ideas or plans, like when I knew that this was already set up and this is how it's decorated, then I kind of made me to fit into here, and I'm glad that it worked out that there's this space right here where I can put my head. So even though I'm off centered to the thing, at least it's like, it gives you guys a bunch of, and this is quite busy actually for my simple Christmas. Most of the house is not decorated like this, but it just, like I said, it just worked out. I only set these things temporarily here, and the bottles, because I was going to hang them on the wall, but I didn't know where I wanted them, so I just set them here after I framed them, and I just thought, well, that's good enough for now. And I just brought him down from the loft because I had forgot them up there, so he's just, actually I had him on this bench, and now he's standing on a wicker basket thing that I keep shopping bags in, so it's not really the safest place for him, so he will be moving back onto this bench until I get, when I turn the camera around, you saw that there's a stack of bins there, and that is, one of them is Christmas lighting because we haven't set up the tree yet and done the lighting on it. The other one is Christmas jumpers because we have a whole bin of Christmas jumpers, because I can't like get rid of them because you never know which ones, who's going to use what, and there's so many of us, and then you different ones for different years and whatever. And then another one of the bins there is all the Play-Doh stuff, because the kids are getting older and they haven't played with Play-Doh for years, so I need to go through, and I'm trying to get rid of things, trying to downsize. And then the one on top of that is a bin of Amy's stuff, so I don't mind keeping stuff here for the kids. I don't mind storing their stuff up in the loft, but this is stuff that Amy's had here since she was a kid. And the thing is, I don't even know if she's not one like me who keeps things, so I don't even know if she wants the things. So I don't mind keeping things here that she wants in storage, but if she doesn't even want the things, there's no point in us storing them if it's just stuff that she thinks is junk and wants to get rid of. So that's a bin that Amy needs to go through. Yes, so that is why there's a stack of bins still. But once all the stuff is out of the entranceway, then this guy can find a place that's not up here in this crowded bench area. I'm gonna have a drink. Talking too much rambling. My throat's getting dry. Throat's getting dry, jaw's getting sore, and I'm getting a headache too. But I still have my workout to do, so I gotta get myself in the mood to do that. Actually, one of the things that works well is I open the curtains, and there's the patio windows there, and I use them kind of like mirrors when I do my workout at night, so it's dark outside so I can see my reflection. And when I can see myself working out, it makes me feel better about the working out, especially because my body looks different now than when I started. So when I see myself and I think I look good, then it makes me want to work out harder and be like, yeah, that's right, I did this. I worked out to make it look like that, and I can't get that or keep that without this workout. So then it makes me it helps me also to see my form if I'm doing my workout, properly. I missed that about my old living room in Canada before I moved here, is I had mirrors all on one side so that I could watch myself work out, so I could make sure my form was right in doing yoga and my workout. But so the patio door kind of works the same, so I can see myself, and that helps me stay inspired to do my workout. And I can't complain. My workout's 25 minutes, like 25 minutes in a day. Like I can't act like it's gonna kill me. Samantha says, your hull looks so fresh and clean. Well, maybe on this side, but there's, Steve's working on stripping the paint off the stairs, so they look a bit bare. And then there's some boxes over there with some stuff in that I need to get rid of. And yeah, it doesn't look as clean and fresh as it does sometimes, but with the new lights and everything it does. And up on the landing it's clean too, so It's not as bad as it can be, but it's not as good as it can be either. But thank you. And Samantha says, Play-Doh, keep it for when Danielle comes over. Yeah, when I say get rid of, I don't really mean I'm going to get rid of the toys and everything. I mean I need to go through it and see if the Play-Doh is still good. I can make homemade Play-Doh as well, and I suggest that for people who like playing with Play-Doh a lot. I used to just make homemade, my mom did too, for us, but I would just make homemade Play-Doh, especially for the price of Play-Doh. I remember it being quite expensive. It's so easy to make homemade Play-Doh, and it's the same as the stuff you buy, and then you break it into pieces, add a bit of food coloring, and work it in, and you can have all the colors, so you could just make so many different things. The kids used to love playing with Play-Doh so much, and they had such great imaginations. So yeah, as I was, that's something I did this week too. I'm organizing up in the loft so it's easier for the electricians, but also going through like nostalgia and seeing things like I really need to get rid of stuff because I don't want to hoard a bunch of stuff. So use it or lose it. But there's so many things up there that I'm thinking like, oh, my little Danielle can play with this, and making it easier. Like all the puzzles, like all the books that are too young for my kids, I've put in the caravan, and all the puzzles that are too young for my kids are up in the loft. And I think, but I mean, there is a bin of toys that Danielle plays with, and she comes here and she loves it, but she's going to keep getting older. And so some of the puzzles and everything else, like, yeah, now it's easy for me to go up in the loft and get them because I've organized it better. Sorry, the dog moved the stand. She's still lying beside me here. So yeah, I will keep the Play-Doh for Danielle and for my grandkids when I have them and everything else. So, and Auntie Dan says, who do you work out with? Yes, Jillian Michaels, or I don't know who Leslie Sanborn is, but I also thought about, so the other day I was at Jillian Michaels. I do the 30-day shred, which I've had since for years now. Did it come out before I had kids? Maybe. It's been a long time that I've been doing Jillian Michaels, but I was listening to some dance music in my headphones while I was doing it, and just watching. And if I need to go down like and do push-ups or something where I can't see the TV, I just take one of my headphones off so I can hear her tell me when I'm changing or getting up or whatever. But I was listening to this music, and it was really intense dance music, and it was nice to hear something different than the normal, like her talking and her music, because I know the workout. And sometimes I listen to podcasts, but this day I didn't feel like doing my workout, so I put on this really like upbeat music and everything else, and it got me into the mood and everything else. And I just thought, this is the thing, I could do a hard workout every day, and I could try new ones on YouTube or whatever, as long as I'm making it about the same amount of time and the same like kind of level. Same thing with working out, as I said with the yoga. Even if it's a hard workout, it doesn't mean that you have to look like they do and do it. You just like, so if they're like, I use bigger weights because I've worked my way up to that. But with this injury, there's some things that I have to do where I would be normally using the weight. Now with this, I might not even have the weight, but I'm still doing the motion. So yeah, so I was thinking about trying some new, after 470 days, maybe trying some new workouts of other people. So I don't know who Leslie Sanborn is, but I maybe will look her up and see what her workouts are like. I know my sister does, it's called, instead of Betty Crocker, like for cooking, it's called Betty Rocker. Is it Melody? So I think she does Betty Rocker workouts or something, which again, I've never tried, but I think I'm going to start trying to, I got the burps now, sorry, from that. So yes, let me see. It's 9:15, so I'm probably almost at an hour because I was late. Lena, stop moving the thing, you silly girl. 57, almost 58 minutes, so we're coming to the end. But I love, even if it's the same people, or how Meg stopped in to just say hi and then she had to go to work, or my regular people who watch this and everything, it just feels like we're having a visit every week. And I'm glad that you guys tune in and that we have this, and even giving me suggestions like cooking next week. That's so exciting. And if you guys want to see it or hear about my dreams, then by all means, because like I can talk and I can cook and I can do all those things. And if you guys are happy with it and I'm happy with it, then it works out. So yeah, I'm very excited about next week. Next week's live, and I will get the recipe to, I can get the recipe to Samantha, I can get the recipe to any of you guys. If you want the recipes beforehand and you want to do it with me on Sunday, then let me know, and I'll send you the recipes before we do the cooking on Sunday. What else? I don't have anything specifically planned this week, but like I said, I need to, you know, once I hear back about the kitchen, just do final things on that, and then once I hear from the immigration solicitor, and I have to do that for the adoption stuff, and then just getting rid of all these bins and making things look nice for Christmas. Like, most of it's done, but I still haven't put up the tree. But I know the kids want to decorate it, so I'll put it up and put the lights on and maybe the tinsel, and then they can put all the ornaments and baubles and stuff on. But yeah, there's nothing like this week that's like pressing that I have like appointments for or anything that I can think of. So yeah, I can't let you know anything that's exciting this week. Oh, my book that I'm reading, Conscious Ink. I was trying to finish it, but I wasn't as far into it as I thought I was. So I got 2 chapters read yesterday, and I'm reading, hopefully at least 2 chapters, well, I only have 2 chapters left. So hopefully I'll be done reading Conscious Ink today, and then I can start on my next book, like, as soon as I get time to read. But I really have to force myself to sit down and read, because yesterday when I told myself I was just going to have a lazy day, because that's okay. You're allowed to, like, I said that to Steve. I said, I think I'm just going to, you know, he had a football game to watch, and I said, okay, I might just come and lay here and read my book. And I said something about, you know, maybe just have some time off. And he said, it would be nice to see you sit down and have some time doing nothing once in a while. But even to get there, I was like, okay, well, I'll just do this first, and then I'll just do that, and then I'll just do this. And then, like, I literally have to, even when I actually sit down, I'm like listening to podcasts, and I got to do these things, you know, whatever, check my email, do this, do that. And it's like, no, just Lisa, just ignore everything else and read your book for a while. So I did yesterday. I read 2 chapters, and like I said, today, hang on, where did Steve, oh, he went for his walk when I was reading. I was like, but I remember Steve being not in the room when I was reading for a bit. But yeah, he went for his walk with the dog while I was reading. That's right. So anyways, I'm almost done that book, and I'll get started on the next book. But I really have to force myself to take some time to just sit down, read my book, or do nothing. Because downtime is okay, because you need your body to recharge. You don't always have to be up and doing something, but it's hard because I like to feel like I'm being productive. But giving yourself a break and giving yourself downtime is being productive as well, because your body needs to rest as much as it needs to work. It needs to rest as well. So I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Season 5 is not nearly over. It's only episode 7, but I have, okay, so we're doing the cooking one next week. And then, like I said, I'm going to read a Christmas book. I don't know if it's going to be exactly Christmas Eve. It might be, but I'm going to read a Christmas story for the kids. So if you have a request for what book I should read this year for the kids, let me know. And otherwise, I will see you guys next Sunday. Thanks for tuning in. Love you guys, and have a good week. And yeah, I'm very excited. So let me know if you want the recipes before next Sunday, and we can cook together. So it'll be homemade chocolate and rum balls. Love you guys, and we'll see you next week. Bye.